he could never support Donald Trump. You know, he's not a conservative, and on and on and on. Well, that's interesting. So I thought to myself, okay, who are you endorsing? He's not endorsing anybody. Well, now, wait a minute. You don't support Trump because he's not a conservative. The guy who is an unapologetic conservative is Cruz. You also have Rubio there and Kasich there. So here you have a senator who I won't even talk to anymore because he voted for the Bob Corker Iran deal and set up a situation where Iran, he participated in it, as did all those other Republicans, where Iran's getting $150 billion. Iran's going to get the nuke. Guy's trying to spin me. I said, you know what, don't talk to me anymore. And I helped him in his campaign. But now he's Mr. Conservative. He's issuing a letter to the public why he can't support Trump and won't vote for Trump. I thought, well, are you going to endorse Cruz now that you're Mr. Conservative? Self-appointed? No, he didn't. Do you want to know why? He wants to wait till after Florida. This is my surmise. Do you want to know why? Because if Rubio wins Florida, he might endorse Rubio. Very conniving, in my opinion. No offense. Just calling him as I see him. He didn't want to be the first senator to endorse Cruz. And the other thing about Sasse is Sasse has never gone against the leadership in any significant way. He votes for what they want. He votes for who they want. You know, when Cruz was out there all by himself, you never saw Sasse standing with Cruz. Never. You might see Mike Lee. You might see Rand Paul, one or two other. But Sasse wasn't one of them. But because he's issued a letter saying he'll never vote for Trump, hey, this guy must be good. And for conservative reasons, hey, right-winger. Okay, who did he endorse? Nobody. Well, why didn't he? Well, why doesn't anybody ask him? Of course, he's welcome to call into my program, and I'll ask him myself, but he won't. All these where's this guy Sasse from Nebraska? Issuing self-serving letters. We got to stop Trump. We got to stop. Good. Who are you endorsing? Nobody. This guy's got 1 foot in the establishment and 1 foot in the pseudo-conservative movement. I'm on to him. It's unfortunate. This is Joel Gerke. Headline, Air Force whistleblower, we could have saved Benghazi victims. Washington Examiner. An Air Force whistleblower says his team could have provided reinforcements to the Americans under attack in Benghazi in September 2012, contrary to the Obama administration's claims that the military provided the maximum possible support for the embattled diplomatic staff. Quote, I definitely believe that our aircraft could have taken off and got there in a timely manner, maybe 3 hours at the most, in order to basically at least stop that second mortar attack and have those guys running for the hills. A man purportedly stationed at Aviano Air Force Base in Italy told Fox News on the condition of anonymity. That's a particularly explosive claim, given that 2 of the 4 Americans who died in the attacks were killed in the second wave of attacks, which targeted a CIA annex the morning of September 12. But the whistleblower has not spoken to Representative Trey Gowdy, who was chairman of the select committee investigating the attacks, because, quote, there are so many ways you can get screwed over for cooperating with lawmakers, he said. Now that frustrates Gowdy, who accused the Obama administration of preventing him from talking to all relevant witnesses. He said, as a former federal prosecutor, I find it deeply troubling there are individuals who would like to share their stories, but have not because they're afraid of retaliation from their superiors, he said in a Wednesday response. No one should be afraid of talking to their elected representatives in Congress. Gowdy allowed that he cannot vouch for the credibility of the whistleblower because the committee hasn't interviewed him, but he hailed the new claims as proof that Democrats are wrong to say the investigation is dragging on too long. Democrats may be content to stick to their preordained conclusions, he said, but the committee has an obligation to determine what can and cannot be substantiated when it comes to the new witnesses who've interviewed and the new evidence we have gathered. The anonymous whistleblower says he feels a sense of fault for not deploying in time to save CIA contractors Glenn Dougherty and Tyrone Woods, who died in the second assault. When you see the movie, it's absolutely heartbreaking. That's a horrible feeling to have when you can help someone, especially when you don't even find out till later and you hear that people actually died. That's the Washington Examiner citing Fox News. We will stay on top of this and continue to monitor it and see where this goes, if anywhere, ladies and gentlemen.